Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends on from where you are joining the program. My name is Mohamed Wani, and I will be your session instructor for this time. Yeah, this is a little bio about me. I'm doing my PhD in artificial intelligence. I have four masters. I have an MBA, a master in IT, masters in data science, and masters in machine learning. I have over 20 years of experience in the IT in general, and I have more than 9 years plus of experience in data science and related technologies. So yeah, so I have a long presentation, but unfortunately, I will try to simply cut off everything to make try to make it fit into my 40 minutes or 30 minutes that I have for the presentation. So I am the founder of Big Bang Data Science Solutions, which is a startup based in Atlanta, Georgia. We are doing training in data science, machine learning, deep learning, analytics in general. So, as a matter of fact, we have so many programs that we offer. I'm going to share that with you before we dive deep into today's topic. So, we have so many programs. One of them is Python for Kids. So, this Python for Kids is a 12 months program. It's free. It's twice a week. It's once a week, and it's free. And we are planning now to start a new program, which is going to be Python for Kids, and also data science for pre-K and for kids also. So that is the two programs that we are going to start probably in a month or so. On the top of that, we have so many programs that we offer, training programs in data science, in machine learning, in programming, in deep learning, in the data analytics technologies. We got 8 months live program for the adults, so I don't think it's gonna fit. Is gonna fit for your age, but we definitely have many programs that we you can benefit from. So that is me, and that is my company, Big Bang Data Science Solution. And the today's topic is probably that is the question that probably could come to your would come to your mind. Why should I become a data scientist? To answer this question, we need to step back a little bit and simply understand the six elements or six motivation that probably if we were to understand them, of course we it would be much more better for us to determine if data science is something that we can do. But data science is the fuel of the 21st century. It simply means that any company, any industry, or any individual who does not acquire the skills or the analytical skills that might be out of the market either sooner or later. Any industry that does not have any analytics established, of course, they are going to be out of the business. So it's the fuel of the 21st century, and you are very lucky because at least with your age, you have enough time to prepare, to train yourself, to educate yourself in the field. Compared to us, to our age, this is something new. When I started my journey, there is not enough resources. We have to struggle to learn it hard way. But for your age, for your generation, you are very lucky. So data science is in high demand nowadays. Many companies, many industries, they are switching into what we call data-driven decisions. Means they make decisions for their businesses, for their industries, using the data and not using someone's experience. And because they are using the data to make decisions, they need someone who can take that data, analyze it, extract some meaningful information, extract some insight that could help the management makes a better decisions. That is why data science is in high demand. So if you have the skills, of course, you are going to get a better job and better life, and of course, high paycheck. So the third motivation of learning data science is data science is a lucrative career. There is a lot of return of investment. It's a lot of profit, producing a better profit either for you as an individual as data scientist and for the industry you are working for. Data scientists also could make a life better. Let's assume, imagine that you are working for airline industry and you've been analyzing the engine, the plane engine data, and you could figure out, you could determine when an engine would stop or would crash, and ahead of time you could predict that ahead of time, and that would solve someone's life. You could solve a trip life. So that is how data science could make a better world or a better life, by simply predicting the likelihood that something is going to happen and do something about it before it happens. And so data science is the career of tomorrow. Of course, if I were to hire you today, I would look into two things into your resume, and I would look into your level of experience. If you have 5 years of experience in any field, in any domain, of course you are better than someone who has 3 years. If you have 3 years of experience, you are better than someone who has 2 years, and better than someone who just graduated. So, and also I'm going to look for your level of education. If you have a bachelor's degrees, you are better than someone who has an associate. You are better than someone who has, high school. But tomorrow, if I were to hire you, I am still going, as a hiring manager, I am still going to look into the level of experience that you have and the level of education that you have. But there is one critical component that I am going to look at, and that is the level of analytics that you have. So tomorrow, if you don't have these skills, it is going to be so hard to secure a spot in tomorrow's market. And of course, number six, there's big money because of high demand, and we have it's the minimum, as far as I know, the minimum you are gonna get is probably $80 per hour. That is the minimum. In some places it's higher, in some places it might be lower, but the average is going to be $80 per hour. So these are the six component or six ingredient that probably would motivate you to learn, become data scientist, and put effort to become a data scientist at this age. 3 years from now, you should be ready to land the job of your dream. So just make sure that, okay, just want to make sure that you guys are following up with me. So the question probably that you could ask is data science for me? In the past, I had a lot of conversation, a lot of calls from my friends, my network, complaining about their age, complaining about their background. Someone said, I'm 50, is it too late to learn data science? Someone said, I don't have a mathematical background, I don't have a statistical background, I don't have, let's say, coding or programming background. Is data science still for me? And trust me, guys, data science is for anyone, especially the one who love to solve puzzles. If you love to solve puzzles and find patterns, data science is for you, regardless of your age, regardless of your background. But as I said, you are at early age. You are very young, and you have long drive to learn data science, and this is the perfect timing for you guys to learn data science. But before we talk about data science, let's simply step back a little bit and talk about what's caused data science. Data science has been for a while, but the light has been shed on on data science for the last, since probably 2013. So why that happened is because of the data that we generate. So these are some facts, probably that might be too old. So every day we create 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. This is a huge, very huge amount of data that we generate worldwide, across the globe. That is the amount of data that we generate, every day, and almost 90% of the data that been circulating across the globe has been generated in the last 2 years, the last 2 years only. And this is 3 years old, facts. It could be right now, it could be probably 5 quintillion byte of data. That is a huge amount of data. And the problem is we don't have enough people, enough skilled people who can take this data, analyze it, find patterns, find relationships, find associations, find something that would help us to make a better decisions. So these are some facts, and you guys, you are probably using social media too much. So just to this is something that is happening every minute. So every minute, in YouTube, there are 600 plus videos, either loaded or run on the YouTube channel. So this is 60 minutes. No, this 600 per minute. If you do the math, times 60 for 1 hour, times 24 for one day, that is the amount of videos that have been generated in one day, across the globe. And the same applies to Google emails, Google search, Skype calling, and other social media, Facebook, Flickr, blogs, etc. So in other words, we are generating a huge amount of data, and we don't have enough students or enough people, enough skilled people who can take this data and extract some meaningful information out of it. So in the past, we were the consumer. In the past, we have a few entities that generate data, like the media, newspapers, radio, TV, etc. And we simply watch, listen, and consume. But nowadays, everybody has a smartphone, everybody has a device, digital device that we use probably on a daily basis. So we generate a lot of data, and at the same time, we consume that data. So we are the data generator, and we are the data consumer. And the data is out of control. It's a mass production, mass data production. And here comes into the play the need of someone who can take this data and analyze it, dig deep into it, investigate it, and see if we can extract some meaningful information that would help us and help the management make a better decisions for the business. So now we understand the importance of data science. So the question that probably could scare you, and is already scaring us, is, will data science take our jobs? And the answer is yes. Data science is taking a lot of jobs. Unfortunately, now we are many industries, they are moving into automation. Means automation simply means what I can do for a month can be done through a data science system in 5 minutes. So these are some statistics also. 5% of all jobs can completely be automated today. Means anything that we do, especially in the soft side, anything that we do could be simply automated. And that simply means that you could be a victim of automation. So I was a victim of automation back in 2014, and this is how I come to the world of data science. I was a victim. I lost my job because I was not able to finish a project, an analytical project. So they were looking for automation, and I lost my job. So 60% of jobs can be automated, and out of the 60% of the jobs that can be automated, 30% can be it's the CEO and the management. So in other words, if you are in the management side, there is more risk of losing your job than the other disciplines. So even though we are losing jobs, because of the automation, because of data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence in general, definitely there is a loss of jobs, many jobs. At the same time, this data science, machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, they are creating new buffet, new line of jobs. So they are still gonna need us to these algorithms, these machine learning systems, and artificial intelligence systems. They are still need humans to run them. So even though we are going to lose a job because of data science, data science is creating a lot of jobs. So we are still need someone called trainer, someone to train an artificial system, someone to train a deep learning system, or machine learning or data science system in general. And we need someone to explain what is happening, what is actually happening inside the system. So you are going to feed the data to the system will predict something to you, and we cannot even believe the prediction blindly, so we have to have an explanation, scientific explanation or domain explanation on the behavior of the artificial model, or on the data science model. And so these models, or this system that will design, of course, will be implemented into production, and they will not work forever. There is a certain time where they need to be checked, they need to be monitored, they need to be evaluated. So we need a human to evaluate them and sustain their performance. So even though we are losing jobs because of automation, of course, data science creates more new line of jobs, and that is another challenge, and that is another motivation for you guys to invest in learning data science. So number one, you are gonna avoid being a victim of automation if you were to learn data science. Definitely, you are gonna avoid that. And number two, you are going to increase your chance to get into the market as a data science trainer, data science models trainer, data science model explainer, or data science models sustainer. So there are two advantages of learning data science. Number one, avoid being a victim of losing your job because of the automation. And number two, of course, increase the chance of getting a job because of data science jobs. Okay, and so I'm gonna skip all of these. So I've seen some of the topics already talked about this. Now, so what is data science? Now, what is exactly data science? So unfortunately, there is not a specific definition of data science. So if you were to compare, for example, masters of an MBA, masters of business administration in, let's say, one university in Atlanta, and in another university in South America or South Africa or any part of the world, and you are gonna see that these two masters, they are 100% or 99% identical. Why is that? Is because MBA is a matured discipline. It's been there in a while. If you were to compare masters in data science, and on the other hand, if you were to compare masters in data science from one university in Atlanta and in another university in Atlanta, not the worldwide, you are gonna see that there is a huge difference between the two programs. Why is that? Because data science is not a mature discipline yet. It's still in evolving at this point of time. It's not matured yet. But in general, data science is simply the ability to take any data. It could be structured data, it could be unstructured data, quasi-structured data, semi-structured data, any data. It doesn't matter the format. It does not matter the structure. It does not matter the shape of this data, and be able to understand that data. So we have to understand the data first. We have to process it. Means the data could not be ready for analysis yet. So we have to make sure that the quality is good. We have to remove missing values out of it. We have to transform it from one shape to a different shape, and one format to different format. And we have to handle its outliers, if any. We have to transform the categorical data into numeric, etc. There is a whole list of pre-processing steps that you need to follow. So once we process that data, of course, we are going to try to extract values. Extract values. We need to visualize it and communicate the finding with the management and the stakeholders. So that is data science in a nutshell. It's simply get the data first, then understand this data, understand the shape, the format, the dispersion of this data, the range, the distribution, then pre-process it, handling or audit the quality, and extract meaningful information and communicate this information with the management and the stakeholders. So this is one quote I really love. It's from Ron Koss. So it says, "If you don't reveal something soon, I am going to be forced to slice and dice and drill." So simply, data science is torturing the data. So this is your data here, and we are gonna keep investigating and torture this data until the data confesses to something or to anything. That is data science. So you are gonna get the data, and the data, as I say, it could be in any format, in any shape, in any structure, in any structure. Yes, and your job as data scientist, your job as data analyst, is to torture this data. Keep torturing it, keep investigating it, keep diving deep, zooming into it little closer until you find something that does make sense to you and to the business. Unfortunately, there is no single discipline for data science. As I said, so data science is a multidisciplinary field where to become a data scientist, you need to know little math. You don't have to be an expert, of course. You need to have some statistics, and you don't have to be an expert. You need to have some computer science, domain knowledge, information science, etc. So you need to know a lot, but you don't have to be an expert in all of these disciplines. That is data science up to now. Probably in the future, this could change. In the future, we could have a standalone domain called data science. So the life of data scientists, this is a flow showing the life of data scientists. So you are gonna get the data from the business. And your job is to analyze it, of course, using many analytical approaches that we are going to talk about shortly. And once you analyze, of course, you are going to get some insight or relationships or signals or something that does make sense. And this is what you are going to give to the business to make a decision. So if I were to hire you as data scientist, I would hire you for one reason, and that is to help me make a better decisions for my industry using the data. Now, of course, data science is not a substitution to the our personal experience. We are still going to need your experience, but we are going to rely heavily on the data to make decisions, not relying on the experience. So nowadays, I could probably hire an experienced manager to help us make a better decisions. But tomorrow, probably we are gonna need, no, we are gonna need more data. Data driven. We are gonna need data to make that decision. But this is your life as data scientist. So you are gonna get the data, number one. You are gonna explore it. You are gonna analyze it. And number three, you are gonna provide the information to the business to make a better decisions. But analyzing the data, of course, there are a lot of analytical approaches that we are going to talk about shortly. And you could use descriptive analytics, you could use predictive analytics, you could use diagnostic analytics, and you could use prescriptive analytics. So there is a lot of approaches that we could use to make better decisions, or extract a better insight for the management to make a better decisions. Excuse me, guys. I'm not sure if I'm sharing my screen. Can you please, can anyone please confirm? Just I want to make sure that we are you guys watching me. Hello. Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. And just want to make sure, because yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay, so again, data science is the fuel of the is the fuel of the future. Is the future, yeah, is the new oil and the fuel of the future. If you don't have the ability to refine and pre-process this oil, of course, you are not going to use it. You are not going to use it. That is the case, unfortunately. So why do we need to learn data science? Is according to some articles that I looked into. So data science is the six times faster growth than average growth IT industry. So it's we have experiencing faster in that discipline. It's very fast. It's six times faster than any discipline, any matured IT discipline. So these are some of the you know some of the testimonials from big companies like Harvard University, Harvard Business. They come up with a plan, or they come up with a report back in 2013, predicting that the data science is the sexiest career of the 21st century. LinkedIn, I don't know if you are familiar with the LinkedIn, probably not yet. They say that data science is the hottest skills that got recruiter attention since 2014 all the way to 2021, and it's going to be the same for the next, at least for the next 5 years. Yeah, I need to. Okay. And Glassdoor, this is another big company. They ranked data science as the first job to pursue in 2016, all the way to 2021, and it is going to be the same for the next 5 6 years. And McKinsey, they predicted the need of 1.5 million data scientists, and this is for the 2018. The last prediction that I read somewhere, is by the year 2023, the US market only, the US market only is going to need 2.3 million data scientists. I might be wrong, but this is why I read an article. So there are four type of analytics to be aware of. Descriptive analytics. In descriptive analytics is very simple. It does not require heavy machine learning or heavy data science. So in descriptive analytics is simply you get the data from the business and you are trying to find out what happened in the past. Something that happened in the past. Let's say that you work for telecommunication industry and you got the data from your boss or from your from the business, and you're trying to find out what happened. So let's say that they lost 20,000 customers last month, and your job is to determine what happened. That is called descriptive analytics. One high level of descriptive analytics is called diagnostic analytics. Is on the top of understanding what happened in the past. Now we need to understand why it happened. So in the past we lost, this telecommunication industry lost 20,000 customers in 1 month. That is a descriptive analytics. The diagnostic analytics is understanding why that industry lost 20,000 clients in 1 month. And another high level of analytics is called predictive analytics. Is simply predicting the future. The descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics is all about something that happened in the past. Predictive analytics is predicting the probability and the likelihood that something is going to happen in the future. So if you know that we are going to lose, if you work for a telecommunication industry and you build a model to predicts that 20,000 clients will be churned, will be gone. Of course, if you were to provide this information to the management, they will have to act upon it. They will have to do something about it before it really happens. And that is how you save money. You create a profit for the business. And the fourth and the highest level of analytics is called prescriptive analytics. Is simply determining what would be the best solution or the best way of doing a business, or recommending what should happen. So most of the industries right now, they are doing descriptive analytics plus diagnostic analytics, but they are moving into predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics, and this is where you as future data scientists come into the play. This is the gap that you are supposed to fill if you were to invest from now going forward. If you were to invest in to become a data scientist. And of course, at your age, probably there might not be any program that academia program that could fit you. There's a lot of resources that you can learn, you can use online. A lot of the boot camps, a lot of online programs that you need to enroll and invest. Okay, so the data science is transparent. Once you understand the concept, once you understand the flow, of course you can work for any industry, any business, regardless of the industry. You could work for media entertainment, making good money. You could use your skills and to work for utilities companies. You could work for telecommunication companies. You could work for transportation, security, retail, finance, healthcare. Just name the industry. As far as there is a data, you could work for anyone who has the data. That is the beauty about data science, So all we have to worry about is learn the skills, and that's it. And you could work for anyone, regardless of the industry. So to become a data scientist, you are gonna acquire 4 qualities. So you need to think about how you can improve yourself in these three quality, five qualities. So number one, you have to be, as I said, you have to know some about mathematics and statistics, at least some quantitative skills to help you make sense of the data. So you have to get the data and make sense of it before you proceed with pre-processing it and analyzing it. And of course, you have to be familiar with computers, with machine learning, with some programming skills. So you need to know Python, you need to know R, probably could know both, etc. And data scientist is always skeptical. Means you have to learn how to ask the right question. The data science journey or data science project starts with an interesting question, and so you could build a bank of questions, working with the team, and of course your job is try to find answers, smart answers, automated answers for those questions using the data. And you have to be creative. There is always thousands of ways to thousand solutions for a specific problem, but your job as data scientist is to think out of the box, think loud, and try to find a better solution for that specific problem. And finally, you have to collaborate and you have to communicate your finding to the management. You could be one of the best data scientists on the face of the planet, but if you are unable to communicate your finding, I think your mission has failed. So these are the competencies, the ingredient, if you were to become a superhero data scientist, a superhero future data scientist. So you need to learn some quantitative skills to acquire them. You need to learn some technical skills. You need to start learning how to ask the right questions, and you need to be to think out of the box. You need to be creative, and of course you need to communicate and collaborate. Some of these competencies might not be in one person. That is why data science is a team sport. So even though you might not acquire all of these skills, so you will end up working in a team of many members, or many colleagues who have some of those skills. So don't be scared, don't be pushed away or scared if you think that you cannot acquire any of these skills, because data science is a team sport. You always are going to work in a team. So yeah, this is a typical data science team from Dell company. They have a technical data scientist, someone who designs solutions from scratch, and we have citizen data scientist is someone who comes after the technical data scientist, someone who maintain, someone who explain, maintain, and evaluate the technical data scientist models. And of course, we are going to have a business analyst, or someone who knows the business better. It's called domain expert, or the data or the business expert. Then we are going to need someone who knows the data better, and someone who can explain the data to us, someone who can help us understand the component of the data, help us understand the characteristic of the data better, help us to retrieve, get the data that we want for the problem. And finally, we are going to need, within the team, we are going to need someone, a developer, someone who can transform, who can deploy our solution into production. So your job as data scientist is not to deploy a model or solution into production. Your job is to build a model. And finally, we are going to need someone who can help us to deploy that. So even though you are not, probably for a reason or another, you cannot acquire all these these competencies, these five critical elements, there is always going to be a chance that you will acquire them, you will learn them by working with the team. Okay, so let's talk about data science life cycle and how this is data science work, from the inside. So the first thing, this is a typical life cycle. So the first thing that happens is, number one, understand the problem. What is the problem that the business is struggling with? And once you understand the problem, of course, we are going to acquire the data. We are going to need the data from the business. So you are going to get the data, and as I mentioned earlier, the data could be structured, it could be unstructured, it could be PDF file, or it could be an image, it could be an audio, it could be a flat file, it could be anything. And your job is to explore that data by simply looking into the shape, the structure, looking into the quality of that data. And based on what you learned through the data exploration, of course you need to prepare it. You need to fix any quality problem that comes with it. Unfortunately, data science is garbage in. Data science models are garbage in, garbage out. Means if you feed the garbage into that model, of course we are not we'll only expect the garbage. But if you feed high quality, good data, then we will expect something meaningful. So once you prepare, pre-process, and fix any quality problem that we got with the data, we are going to build a model. And there are so many models to build. You could build classification models, you could build clustering models, regression models. So once we build a model, of course we are going to engage the management, to show the management what we developed. And if everything goes green, of course we are going to deploy that into production, and the end user will use that to make reports, to make decisions, and we continue the loop. The loop for the workflow. So this is a typical day-to-day activities of data scientists. So if you were, I'm gonna shorten the path for you guys if you want to become a data scientist. So this is what you could do, and this is an ultimate map, or the plan if you were to become a data scientist. A few things that you need to know, you need to be aware of, and you need to plan ahead of time. So number one, you are gonna need some type of domain expertise, and probably this might not be required for you guys because you are too young to do this, and so you still have time to build your expertise in a certain domain. Let's say that you love healthcare, and simply educate yourself, or go for a degree in the healthcare. And so you are going to have a domain, any domain, it doesn't matter. It could be a finance, it could be sales, it could be management, it could be an accounting, it could be any discipline. Then and you need at least one programming language, either Python or R or Julia for big data, etc. If you are the type of person who can learn Spanish and French at the same time, go for it. Go learn Python and R. The more programming languages you learn, the better. If you cannot learn two programming languages at the same time, I would recommend you learn Python first. And we have a program to train you. It's going to be 6 months program to train you on Python end to end. So if you were to take our program, by the end you should be an expert in Python. And of course you are going to need some mathematical background, statistical background, and probability. You really do not need to be an expert, but you are going to need knowledge or some experience to help you understand your data better. So using statistics, math, probability, you could measure the position of your data, the dispersion of your data, the shape, the relationship. You could do you could do sampling, normal distribution. You could calculate the mean, median mode, standard deviation, variance, covariance, correlation. Simply a lot of statistical techniques, skills that would help you make sense of the quality of the data. And number four, that you need to understand the language, the terminologies used in data science. So there's a lot of new terminologies that you need to be able to learn them and explain them to someone else. So for example, if you were to decision tree is a model that you might not probably know it at this point of time, but it's a model. So if you were to become a data scientist, you need to know what is decision tree, how it works, and you have to explain to someone else. You have to explain to me, and something applies to probably 500 big words that have been invented or been used in the data science world. So you have to learn the data science foundation or data science lingo or data science big words or simply data science language. And finally, you have to show me some of the project or some of the problems that you solved. As I said, I would simply hire you if I know that you solved many problems in the past, and if I know that you are able and capable of solving any future problem. So these are the five components to help you become a data scientist. Number one, you need a domain expertise. Number two, you need one programming language. Number three, you need some math, probability, statistics. Number four, you need to start learning the big terminologies used in data science. And number five, we need some projects. Yeah, how much time do we have left? Yeah, do we have sorry guys, I'm not keeping up with the time. So do you know how much time we have left? Yeah, so let's take five more minutes. I'll let you go. What is machine learning? So simply, I'm gonna simply two more slides, and I'll let you guys let you go. So machine learning is simply a child, a child that goes, the child saw a candle, and of course, kids or at this early age, we at this early age we try out of curiosity we try to discover our in the environment. So this child saw a candle, and of course he out of the curiosity he wants to discover what is this object. So the child put his finger on the flame, and he got burned. So from this incident, the child could learn two things. The child could learn that the object. It could learn the shape of the candle, the format of the candle. It could learn the color of the candle, or the child could learn the patterns from this incident. It could learn that anything that is red and bright. So next day, if the child learned the object, of course the child is gonna attach. Next day the same case or the same child was walking in the kitchen, and he saw this stove top. So if the child learns the candle, of course it is gonna attach the stove top again, because the candle is totally different than the stove top. But if the child learns the patterns, of course the child will not touch this stop top because it's red and bright. And that is machine learning. Machine learning is simply trying to learn a pattern from the data and apply that what we learned on a new object. But here's the things, here's the problem. So imagine that you brought your child a red and bright toy, and of course what is going to happen, if the child learns from the first incident that anything that is red and bright is a harm, so of course the child is not going to touch, is not going to come closer to the toy. That simply means that machine learning, even though we try to learn the patterns, there is most that does not mean this pattern is always going to be right. And this is the difference between machine learning and programming. Programming, you are telling your child not to do this and to do this. So you are programming your child to do something and not to do something. And while machine learning is simply let your child learn on his own and make a decision. So that is machine learning in a nutshell. Unfortunately, we gotta stop here. and because of the time, but we're almost done. But this is unfortunately we have to stop. And let's. This is my email. This is my phone number and my email, and I'm gonna share this with you guys just in case. Just in case you want to communicate with me, if you are interested in our programs, please feel free, to reach out to me either through an email or through the phone. As I said, we have programs in Python for kids, and we have data science for kids is gonna start pretty much soon. So, any question, concerns about this? Any questions? Any doubt? Any suggestions? Yeah, I'm here to address your questions before probably you go for the second, the following session. You are welcome. Okay, folks, I don't see any question here, so I'll let you go. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, please keep in touch. You have my email address, you have my phone number. Reach out to me if you need any help, regardless. Okay, thank you so much. Bye for now.
finished